Have you ever sat on smooth stones in the middle of a river as it flowed all around you and then passed? Have you sat and let it push gently against your back? And if you did this, did it push your cares back so they resembled those of ancestors trembling before gods from way back? Have you swam in a crisp lake, and if you haven't, for God's sakes, why not? Have you put your body in a body of water while the moon watched? Have you watched loons off the side of your canoe? Have you listened closely to the songs the stream sings, trickles over rocks cascading, rivers roll and ripple to the ocean eventually, while lakes stand at attention with grace and ease, reflecting rain from the heavens, and so the cycle completes. And so water feeds our psyche, gives us cause to pause and breathe, gives our spirit spots for resting, a siesta for our energy and for our eyes' ancient beauty. Since I was a child, the water moved me easy, because in it I found community, or else it communed with me, inside the chambers of my body. And when I rocked on top of it, I thought, how is this possible that I can float and it can hold me so comfortable? When I was a child, I assumed it was endless and blue, and the moon maybe made it for me or for you. And of course, for all the fish and the little water bugs and the frogs and the birds that touched down and sailed on. And the ships and the beavers, and maybe the zebras in Africa that leaned over streams to drink like in the pictures, and for the trees to cast reflections, and for the fisher people to cast their nets in. And also water was for my toes, and for high cliffs that rose up for teenage kids to jump from. Water was joy, and from early on I listened hard in hopes to hear what it would say. Today I listen still, though some of our waters are standing still. Though some of our rivers are drained or barely rolling, thick with silt. I listen to streams that miss their overhanging trees, burnt with sun, devoid of leaves. I see litter lingering along the shores and hear baby fish stuck in debris. I listen just as closely, except now, too much, I know things. Like how acid rain was not just a catchphrase of the 80s, matching acid genes and fervent pleas to change things. Yep, we changed some things. For instance, we raised more trees, ate more fish than we need. We ran waste to the sea to contaminate our fields along the way. We drained whole tables from which whole species drank. As our yield sank and our lakes went rank, we watched it rain. We talked of change. We watched it rain. And always there have been stewards, but always they have been fewer than the movers in power who use money as their saviors, saying industry will save us. Don't look over at the river. It's fine. It knows how to flow. Well, apparently we don't. Or we forget that our flow flows in ways we don't know, into streams we don't see, to a place we don't go. Our bonds are so old, though we belong to the whole, we forget that our actions have reactions we don't control. We drive our cars, the water flows. We grow our grass, the water flows. Our neighbors nod our efforts, the water flows. We bury our garbage, the water flows. We grow crops for mass harvest, the water flows. We raise fish in pens for harvest, the water flows. We discard our plastic, the water flows. Hydro makes power, the water flows. To illuminate our homes, the water flows. To wash our plates and bowls, the water flows. To transport needs across oceans, the water flows. It goes and it goes. It's so easy to use it. After all, we have so much. After all, 70% of the planet, and how many lakes alone just in this province? But it's not a poet's job to cite statistics. Or is it? 1 out of every 1 people drinks water and needs it to survive. 1 out of approximately 1.000007 people do not wish to die. Therefore, let it be surmised that water is desired by just about everyone. It's not a poet's job to cite statistics. Still, I have noticed that 1 out of every 1 people eats food, and 1 out of every 1 piece of food eats water at some point in between birth or seed or factory and the table. It is not a poet's job to be a scientist, and so I'm not going to try to prove these, my humble hypotheses, but I'm pretty sure that 1 out of every 1 of you in this room has looked up at the moon, has had a shower, has daydreamed by a drop of water running down the window pane. I'm pretty sure that some of you have even gone skinny dipping in a fresh lake, and those of you who haven't most certainly should. If you are able, put your body in the water, naked as in the womb, to commune with the planet before you are to be someday subsumed. I'm pretty sure this might make some of you feel shy, but those who have daydreamed to try it, do it. You have the force of nature by your side. And lucky us in Nova Scotia, we have lakes untouched by gasoline, kissed by skies. And to our ancestors, this was a simple gift, but to us it is at risk. We have compromised. One out of every one steward and protector knows this. One out of every one floating child should not have to worry about it. One out of every one fish shouldn't have to die in our garbage. And as statistics outline our water's hardships, one out of every one planet Earth will stay on its axis, will adapt to this, but one out of every one human race will eventually not. It's simple and it's hard. How to protect our rivers, lakes, our streams. I think it'll be easier to do this if we keep them in our hearts, if we keep our eyes upon them, our toes dipped into them. If we take deep breaths beside them, then our connection to them will be renewed again and again and again, and so it will be harder to forget. I think we should remember that we get spiritual fulfillment from it, amidst food and drink and transport and industry requirements, because if we remember that it resides in us, would we not take more care to keep it there, clean and alive for us? Who owns the water? No one does. Who needs the water? All of us. So go sit on a smooth stone in the middle of a river. Let it flow all around you and then past. Give money if you can for trust, for legal battles. Stewards fight to win for us. They're holding fast. And in the meantime, give hours and action when you can, but especially take the time to commune with water nearby. Put your eyes, put your toes, put your soul in. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much.